I guarantee this. Derek Carr is going to give J.C. Jackson half of his interceptions next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we're only going to play him twice a year, so
Twice a year.
unless
We're going to get eight interceptions from those 2 games.
8 interceptions from Derek Carr. Wow, I'd be sick.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty phenomenal watch. That's Peyton Manning versus Antonio Cromartie, kind of situation.
Yeah, Cromartie. Yeah, that was amazing.
All right, guys. Bolt Bros here. Bolt Bros.
Bolt
Let's go.
Bros! Hey!
So we're going to talk about the AFC West and specifically just their additions with the Raiders for this podcast. So let's get into it.
Let's get into
Bolt
it.
Bros.
Bolt Bros! Let's go!
All right, so let's get down to the business here, dude. So Raiders, we all hate them. We don't like them.
Raiders.
So
Trash.
it was weird. It was weird, Kyle, how you were talking about you were down in San Diego and how a lot of fans kind of were talking about after the Chargers left, they decided to be Raiders fans, and I was like, wow, how do you do that?
Like,
how's that even possible?
I don't even know.
How?
I was at a loss for words. I was like, I just looked at him. I was like, what? What are you? What are you talking about here? Yeah, I didn't know how to respond to that at all. Like, man, I guess I understand being bitter, but oh my gosh, what is that?
Yeah, I mean that is something else to be able to just jump ship to go over to the enemy.
Yeah,
it's like
entirely.
It's like you were a Jedi and all of a sudden you became a Sith or something like that or whatnot.
Something else entirely, man. Like, I mean, like that's not even a Jedi or a Sith anymore. That's like just that's being a virus. That's what it's being.
Yeah.
But it's always so crazy to me to think that the Raiders have moved 3 times now. They left Oakland for LA, then they left LA back for Oakland, and now they left Oakland for Vegas. How are these fans still like rabid, like passionate fans? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. But at the same side, I remember some of the bad years and being down in San Diego at some of the games, and a lot of people there didn't even know who was on the team anymore, and they thought Jerry Rice and Rich Gannon were still on the team, and they didn't even know. It was more just like a culture than anything, in my opinion.
Gosh.
Right. That's my thought too.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what they've done in free agency, right? So let's get down to business. I know we can badmouth the Raiders all day because that's pretty easy for us to do.
Very easy.
But I mean, look, at the end of the day, they got a new coaching staff, right? Josh McDaniels is there. I mean, what do we think about him? I mean, look, again, I've always said this, right? Any coaching staff that leaves Bill Belichick, or any coach that leaves Bill Belichick, they don't succeed.
Yeah.
And McDaniels did not do well his first season at Denver, and he's back in the AFC with the Raiders. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. I mean, what's your general thoughts on the coaching staff? And we don't have to get too deep into it, but what's your thoughts? I know I watched a couple of videos.
Well, it's a great point that you bring up about Belichick and his coaching tree. When they leave, New England, they generally don't succeed. It's basically Mike Vrabel is pretty much the only guy that has really done a good job.
Yep.
And then that's kind of really about it. And it's interesting because we'll see if Josh McDaniels could actually come back for a second stint. I mean, he basically, shafted the Colts when they wanted him to be the head coach. And he's like, I'll just stay here in New England. And then stayed there. And now he said the perfect situation was to be with the Raiders. And so I don't understand that, but okay.
I think
we'll
it's
go
a
with
money,
that, I guess.
It's a money thing.
It's a money situation.
It's not it's not a opportunity for them to win a championship because they ain't going
Show
nowhere.
me the money.
It was
money Manziel over here.
The perfect opportunity.
He's hitting the craps table. 7-11. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? I mean, I always think about this, right? Where who'd they get? They got Chandler Jones, and they got Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
To me, those are their big pickups, in my opinion.
100%.
And I'll tell you, Devontae Adams, what's he getting? $25 million a year? Some ridiculous. I mean, just bananas money. And I remember Telesco talking about it specifically I think it was on the Pat McAfee show. He was like, "Man, I don't even know why they threw $25 million a year at him." And don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic wide receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But guess what, guys? He had Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball at him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got Derek Carr. They lost Mariota today.
Yeah.
So I mean, how productive is he really going to be in the Raiders system, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I ask myself that question all the time.
Yeah.
But $25 million a year I don't know, man. That's just a lot. That's a lot.
Well, I think Davante Adams just wanted that Aaron Rodgers money, but he wasn't going to get that Green. He wasn't going to get that Green Bay.
He wasn't going to get a Green Bay. He wasn't getting Green Bay for sure.
No, that's for dang sure.
There is a continuity with Davante Adams and Carr because they did go to Fresno State together.
True.
For sure.
So they were teammates. So there is that continuity there. The big thing about it is it's just not Davante Adams, and I don't know who else was with him at Fresno State, but I can't imagine it was any higher end receivers that came from there. But now you got Hunter Renfrow, who's a stud, and then you got Darren Waller on top of that too.
Waller. So they got weapons.
They have 3 very, very solid weapons, and it's going to be a very spread out kind of offense, is what I imagine from them. Yeah. So is Davante Adams going to have those, huge games? I mean, I'm sure they will, but I don't know if he'll have 1,500 yards because I just don't think that's going to be where he's going to be at.
I was going to say, though, too, like, going back on to Hunter Renfrow, like, he's more of a deep threat. He's like our Mike Williams, but Mike Williams is better. So he only barely broke 1,000 yards on his and then Darren Waller, he barely made 600 yards last season. So I mean,
Waller was hurt though a little bit for sure.
He was hurt.
He plays 11 games out of the year. So
so I mean a few games, not a whole lot.
I mean, I guess like if he does play more, then he would be a bigger threat. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, bottom line is like we just straight up say we got J.C. Jackson. So Davante Adams is not going to be a threat at all. It's like he's going to be able to, like, we already talked about this. I guarantee this. Derek Carr is going to give J.C. Jackson half of his interceptions next year.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we're only going to play him twice a year. So unless
we're going to get eight interceptions from those 2 games.
8 interceptions from Derek Carr. Well, I'd be sick.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty phenomenal watch. That's Peyton Manning versus Antonio Cromartie, kind of situation.
Yeah, Cromartie, that was amazing.
That was an amazing game.
Yeah, you got 4 picks.
That's right.
Yeah, something like that. It was pretty incredible. That was an incredible game. And I mean, awesome. the thing about it is with the Raiders, I mean, Renfrow is a very good receiver. He's not like a big receiver by any means. He's like a $190 wet, and he's small dude, and great route runner. So I kind of really put him more as like a Keenan Allen kind of guy. He's going to be that possession slot guy. Davante Adams going to be that stretch guy. Darren Waller could actually, to be honest, he's got a big body guy and can stretch the field a bit too. So
I guess actually on that, I can give him some credit there because he does have a pretty decent yards after catch rating.
Yep. Yeah, he does do well.
He does really well that way. Yeah. So like it seems like actually half of his yards were yards after catch.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And he didn't really turn on a lot till like kind of late season. I think it was more when like Darren Waller got hurt. So, I mean, he still had 103 catches. I mean, that's pretty great to be able to have something like that. I mean, if you've watched some of his 3-cut like routes, I mean, they're phenomenal. I mean, nobody can protect him or go against Hunter Renfrow because he just has this edge on the defender. So he's a very good receiver. Davante Adams is one of the tops in the league for yards after catch. And so same thing with Darren Waller. He's going to be open too, and he's going to get his catches. So, I mean, the Raiders have very, very solid wide receivers. I mean, Renfrow, Adams, Darren Waller, they have great targets there too. I mean, you could even put in Josh Jacobs there too.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think the thing is that you really have to focus the Raiders is their defense.
Yeah.
And, it's an interesting thing because, Gus Bradley, we all know him as a Chargers fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
we do.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Zone
Same
defense
play all
day.
the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
my gosh.
Cover 3.
Thank God.
So
Thank God.
frustrating. Oh.
Yep.
But
how is he still in the league at all? It's unbelievable to me.
He's with the Colts. Let's see how that goes. I mean, the Colts have really good players on defense, so this is going to be a really interesting situation for them. So, but
maybe
now
he finally got his people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But now with the Raiders, you got obviously a new coaching staff from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I think they actually still have Gruden's son on the staff, which is kind of interesting. But I saw that on their list of coaches. But now you got Patrick Graham as their defensive coordinator. So he came from the Giants. And this is his 4th year as a defensive coordinator. You know what? Actually, I really kind of liked the Giants defense last year. I mean, maybe I'm a little weird on that to think that, because I mean the Giants really weren't that great of a team, but for some reason I always felt like they played kind of tough on defense.
Yeah,
and
offensively they really struggled. They didn't score points.
I mean, Danny Dimes over there, Daniel Jones. I mean,
he was getting crushed.
Oh, so
it was sad watching him out there. I was like, oh, this poor guy.
Yeah.
You know, just getting dry humped up and down the field. You know. I mean, but you're right.
One thing too about ranking with the Raiders. I mean, they were the 20th defense last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it is this year for them. I mean, 20 is not the greatest, but they weren't excellent. I mean, Gus Bradley defense is kind of that way, in my opinion. They just want to get points down. Yeah, bend don't break. Keep points low, basically.
Yep.
But the one thing, too, with the Chandler Jones acquisition with Max Crosby, that's a pretty dangerous D-line, in my opinion. One of the betters in the AFC West or AFC Best. You got Denzel Perryman, who we all know. He played pretty well last year. Rock
Ya-Sin. Stay healthy.
Yeah, Rock Ya-Sin came in, too, so you got that guy also. He had a good PFF of about 69, almost 70. So, and Divine Diablo was one of their picks from last year. He played pretty good. And then Jonathan Abrams plays fast but gets injured a lot, too. I like how he is, but he kind of plays a little reckless.
One of the things that hasn't really been addressed by free agency for the Raiders, and we'll probably end with this on this one, is because, again, like, okay, new coaching staff. We saw what happened with the Chargers last year with the new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Some growing pains for sure.
100%.
You know, there was some inconsistency. So I think we're going to see a little bit of that this next year with the Raiders as well, too. Having said that, their offensive line was not good. They had a lot of holes. They did not do great. They did not protect Carr very well, and they don't have Mariota anymore. So you got to kind of wonder, boy, you know, you got to hope that guy stays healthy. Of course, you know, hey, your quarterback one goes down, you're pretty much not going to make the playoffs, right? I mean, look at the Ravens last year, right? But again, you know, they have not addressed the offensive line, and again, we're going to talk more about this with the Chargers, what we're going to do against them defensively. But you know, at the end of the day, it's interesting that they have not addressed the offensive line, at least from what I can tell in free agency so far.
Yeah,
I would give them I'd give them a B+. I think they did pretty well. I think they're paying way too much money for Devonta Adams personally.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's a lot of money for a guy, but you know, at the end of the day, I think if they'd done some better things with their offensive line, I would have given them a higher grade. But B+, I think is what I'd give them.
It's an interesting thing about what's going to happen, because I really still feel that this division is really going to be based upon how well your defense could be. Yeah. And with them having a whole new coaching staff, whole new everything, new system, it's going to be a very hard transition for them. So, you know, if I was really to give them a grade, I mean, I'd probably say they probably did about a C+ in my opinion. The draft is still where you could start building some of the O-line, because their O-line was 28th in the league last year, which seems kind of strange to think. So I'll probably go with C+ with them.
C+? Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, I mean, they picked up a couple of running backs, a running back and a fullback as well. You know, like honestly, like, you know, if you guys saw my other video, I was clowning on them all day long. Like, I didn't think
you were.
Yeah, I didn't think those were good videos, like pickups at all. Like, and they're paying way too much money for, like, you know. Yeah.
But that's the Raiders. The Raiders do that. I don't understand what they just blow cash. I don't understand them.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm looking at Anthony Everett. He's got like a combined tackles of 53, 3 picks. Okay, great. And then Rock Ya-Sin got 31 combined tackles and 1 fumble. Dude.
Yep.
What are they even thinking? What do they see in this guy? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean,
it's crazy.
I'm sure he probably has better like pass blocking abilities. I don't see him being a lockdown cornerback situation at all. I mean, I think they are improvements for sure. Overall, I'm gonna give them a C+ as well. You know, I think it does satisfy what they need, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
So, you know, you know what they always say, you know, in college, right? C's get degrees, right? You know, that's about what they got, I guess. Huh?
But
you're right.
C's,
you know, I mean,
get the Super Bowl rings.
No, but look, at the end of the day, again, one of the things that you see a general theme to the AFC. Well, that's what we call the AFC best, because they have improved 100% across the board. I mean, all the talent has come to the AFC West. It's exciting. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm excited to play the Raiders twice a year.
Yeah.
You know, and they've gotten better. So yeah,
Well, I think we hope to play them twice a year and beat them both of those times too.
Smoke both times.
It's the worst to lose to them, and even
absolutely.
still, I'm a little bitter from the last game of the year too, so how we lost to them, and just
still hurts.
Frustrating. Still hurts, but it's just going to be a fun division games. I mean, I personally still think every game's going to be a primetime game. It's going to be either a Thursday night, Sunday night, or a Monday night game, because there's so much hype coming out of the AFC West for the pickups. I mean, there was one commentator going through all the star power that the AFC West picked up, and it is just
crazy.
Like endless amount of star power.
Right.
I mean, it is the most stacked division for sure in the league. So
by far.
But Raiders made some good adjustments, and obviously they're going to be competitive too with everybody else in the division.
Raiders did well, but we did better. Anyways, that's all we need to know.
That's right.
Next. Get out of here.
Get lost.
On to the next, baby.
On to the next. Hey, you guys like my peepers? What do you think about my peepers today?
Man,
peepers.
Do I look studious?
Where'd you get those peepers?
You're looking kind of fly. Actually, wait. I think I should do the same here. Hang on a second.
Oh, you got them as well?
Right,
there we go.
Right. Put on
my
thinking
James
glasses.
Normally has his glasses.
I know. I don't even have my glasses with me. What's going on?
Okay. I'm not doing that. I don't care.
Hey,
I'm not
what
doing
are you guys doing?